You're about to hear a story that will stay with you, and I'm really glad you've tuned in today. Before we dive in, I'd love to know where you're watching from. Drop your city or country in the comments, and let's see how far this story travels. All right, let's get into today's story, and trust me, you won't forget it.
I overheard my wife telling her friends that she almost ran away with her ex-boyfriend but turned him down to settle for stability with me, and now I don't know if any of our love and marriage is real. We have a perfect marriage. We've been together for 9 years, married for 4. We rarely fight, we're often intimate, we go out on date nights, send memes to each other, the works. Recently, we got news that her ex-boyfriend overdosed and passed away. Now, my wife has no connection to him, so we expressed our condolences to his family over text and nothing more. She often goes out with her friends, and I always let her. I have no problem with it because I used to trust her 100%. I had to work late, so I told my wife that if she wanted, she could call her friends over to our place since I wouldn't be around. Well, the rains were heavy, and our office was told to leave early because some light flooding was taking place on the roads. I reached home, and I could tell her friends were there, so I quietly went to our room unnoticed. Everyone was speaking quite loudly though, so I could hear a lot, and the ex-boyfriend came up in conversation. My wife said that 4 years into our relationship, she got a call from her ex-boyfriend, who lived in a trailer, offering to help her see the world. She said she had a bag packed and was ready to leave but, in the end, decided not to and settled for the stability I was giving her. I didn't know about any of this, she never told me, and she says that apparently she settled for me. One of her friends asked her if she ever regretted her choice. She said that she used to, but not recently. I guess that's it, right? I'm not unstable enough for her to be attracted to me, she has to settle for someone like me. That one word just keeps revolving in my head. I slipped out of the house and went to a cafe to gather my thoughts, but got a call from her asking me where I was, saying that I was due home half an hour ago. I went back, and she greeted me with a hug and a kiss as always, but I wasn't really into it. She asked me why my mood was off. I mumbled something like stress from work and went to bed, skipping dinner and our usual alone time. Except I couldn't sleep. I woke up a few hours later into the night and sat on the balcony just thinking. About how I'm not good enough for her, about how I'm sure she doesn't love me. I know she at least loves me a little, but even for that, I have no guarantee. It's the next day now. I didn't sleep much last night, and my wife's still asleep. I didn't tell anyone anything about what she said because I just can't. What do I do here, guys? Should I even talk to her? Divorce? Is there any hope for us moving forward? Does she even want to move forward? I don't know. I'm sorry for how jumbled up this is, my head is not really in the right place right now. /relevant comments. Commenter. Death can conjure up all kinds of emotions, what might have been, the road less traveled, etc. There's no point in avoiding the conversation. Sit down with your wife, explain that you heard what she said, and talk it out with her. Commenter 2. I was thinking the same thing, that she was feeling nostalgic, but then she mentioned at one point having her bags packed and ready to go with that guy years before. Commenter 3. My heart would be torn out, and I truly hurt for you, it felt like a visceral kick to the chest reading that. You have every right to be hurt. You need to confront her with this and lay it all out on the table. I hope you can work through this. On the upside, it sounds like there may have been a period of time when she wasn't happy, but that she is now. Maybe you work through that part. But you need to get to the bottom of this. Please keep us posted. Commenter 4. Can we also address that settled for is not some dirty phrase? Dude, she's given you 9+ years of what you described as a happy marriage. You are not your thoughts and feelings, you are your actions, and your wife's actions have been loyal to the marriage. Talk to her, my guy, you're probably beating yourself up over nothing. Commenter 5. She also could have meant settled as in she settled her mind. Sometimes people suck at communication, don't always assume the message you received is the one they intended to send. Update 3 days later. I made a post the other day about my wife saying something jarring. Some people asked for an update, here it is. Well, immediately after the revelation, I first drove to a nearby town and took 2 days just for me and my thoughts. I called in sick from work and told my wife that I was visiting a cousin. I then read all the comments you guys had for me. I really wanted to reply to some, but the thread was locked. Nevertheless, I read each one, and it was a lot of mixed advice. Everyone was advising me to talk to her, but everyone had different views on what to say. Some said to just ask for a divorce, some said to ask her what she meant, and some defended her and told me I misunderstood everything. I decided to go for the middle option. Yesterday, I finally confronted her about it. I walked in, and she came up to me for our hug, but I didn't really give one back. She asked me what was wrong, and I told her we had to talk. I sat her down. She could tell I was sad and worried, and I asked her if she was happy with me. She said that of course she was. I asked her if she loved me and if she had done so throughout the entire course of our relationship. She looked confused and said of course she did, and asked me where this was coming from. I told her that I heard her with her friends a few days ago. I heard how she was willing to leave me after 4 years to be with her ex and how she claimed to have settled for me. She teared up and said she didn't mean it like that, to which I asked how she meant it. She said that by settled for, she didn't mean that she thought she could do better and was dating down, but that she made up her mind to stay with me because I was the better person. I told her that 4 years into our relationship, there shouldn't have been a question in the first place and brought up the fact that she said she had a bag packed. She started crying and said that that was an exaggeration on her part, that she only considered it, and that it was in a moment of weakness when we were having a fight and were briefly on a break. Her ex called her because he heard about our fight through a friend, and they spoke on the phone for about an hour, during which he flirted with her, put me down, and offered to show her the world. She said she had a choice between going with her ex or reconciling with me, and she chose me because she loved me and always will. She said that 4 years ago, she was a weaker person, and that I made her stronger and better. I then brought up the fact that she said she regretted it but hadn't done so recently. I asked her what she meant by recently. She said that she regretted her choice for only a month after the offer was made because she had thoughts about what could have been, but stopped when she realized that she had the best moments of her life with me. I asked her if anything had happened between her and anyone else during the course of our relationship, to which she said that she never cheated on me and never will, and I believe her. We were both crying at this stage, and we just hugged and sat together. She apologized for what she said and what she was like 5 years ago. I apologized for listening in on a private conversation without telling her and for doubting that she loved me. I'm really happy that it was nothing but a misunderstanding, and I'm glad we were able to come out stronger. Some people mentioned that I should get a DNA test for the kids, but we don't have any kids, so that's not a problem. Also, she mentioned possibly having survivor's guilt, so we're going to look into that too. Thank you to everyone who commented and DM'd me, your advice was really appreciated. /relevant comments. Commenter. It is great that you talked it out with your wife. The relationship would not be able to survive if you swept it all under the rug. Hopefully, the talk cleared up most of the issues that give you feelings of insecurity in your marriage. I hope this will be just a speed bump in your relationship and that things get back to how they were. Commenter 2. It all sounds great and makes sense, except for one piece, when she told her friends she regretted it until recently. 5 years ago for a single month is not until recently. In fact, it's not recent at all. So why did she say that to her friends? I'm prepared to be happy for you, but that insufficient and broken explanation makes me uneasy. Commenter 3. Honestly, I think she BS'd her way through this conversation. Needs to be on guard because she is going to hurt him at some point. This was the least honest, least cohesive series of rambling excuses I've ever heard. Commenter 4. While I genuinely hope things can return to normal for you guys, there's one thing that is nagging at me. Nothing in her conversation with her friends made it sound like you were the love of her life or that you were her everything. Instead, it sounds more like she weighed 2 job offers, examined the pros and cons, and then chose you. While it's not exactly the same as settling, it's not much of an improvement either.